Late night bites with friends? Already hard to beat. That first too hot bite of fries you couldn't wait for, followed by ice cold Pepsi. Now that hits different. Suddenly, the energy kicks back in, the night goes longer, and the laughs don't stop. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
English with Us podcast.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing amazing today. Welcome and welcome back to English with Us podcast. My name is David.
Hello, David. And hello, everyone. I am very excited about today's topic because meeting an old friend can feel really special. Maybe you have not seen each other for months or even years. You may have many stories to share and many questions to ask. A few months ago, I met an old school friend in New York by chance, and we talked for almost 2 hours.
That is perfect, Emma, because today we will learn simple English for talking about meeting an old friend. We will talk about greeting someone after a long time, asking what is new, talking about work and family, remembering the past, sharing life changes, making future plans, and useful phrases for a natural conversation.
David, before we start today's episode, we have a quick announcement, right?
Yes, Emma. We're now posting the full transcript and study pack for each podcast episode on Patreon. Each study pack can help you review the lesson, practice useful English, and keep learning after the episode.
That sounds really helpful.
Yes. You can join us on Patreon for only $3.99 a month. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for learning with us and supporting the podcast.
We hope to see you there. Now, let's start today's episode. David, quick question. What do we mean by an old friend?
An old friend is someone you have known for a long time, or someone you were close to in the past. It does not mean the person is old in age.
That is an important difference.
Yes, a useful sentence is, she is an old friend from school.
That sounds very natural.
Another useful sentence is, we have known each other for many years.
Quick check, David. An old friend means someone you have known for a long time, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what can we say when we suddenly see an old friend?
We can show surprise and happiness. We might say, wow, it is so good to see you, or I cannot believe it is you.
I love that kind of moment.
A useful phrase is, it has been such a long time.
That is probably one of the most important phrases for this topic.
Definitely. Another one is, I have not seen you in ages. In ages means for a very long time.
Quick check, David. In ages means for a very long time, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, can we also say long time no see?
Yes. Long time no see is a very common informal phrase. Informal means relaxed and suitable for friends or casual situations.
So I could see an old friend and say, hey, long time no see.
Exactly. A useful sentence is, long time no see. How have you been?
That sounds very natural.
Another useful phrase is, it is great to see you again.
Quick check, David. Long time no see is casual and friendly, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, after saying hello, what should we ask?
A very common question is, how have you been? It asks how someone's life has been since you last saw them.
That is different from just, how are you today?
Right. A useful answer is, I have been good. A lot has happened since we last talked.
That makes the conversation continue.
Yes. Another useful question is, what have you been up to? It means what have you been doing recently?
That sounds very native and useful.
Another phrase is, so, what is new with you?
Quick check, David. What have you been up to means what have you been doing recently, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, how can someone answer what have you been up to?
They can talk about important changes in their life. For example, I started a new job. I moved to another city. Or, I have been very busy with school.
So the answer does not need to be very long.
Exactly. A useful sentence is, I have been busy with work lately. Lately means recently.
That is easy to use.
Another one is, I moved to a new apartment last year.
And another useful phrase?
A lot has changed since we last saw each other.
Quick check, David. Lately means recently, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, work is probably a common topic when old friends meet.
Yes. People often ask, are you still working at the same place? Or, what are you doing for work now?
Those sound very natural.
A useful question is, how is work going?
Simple and friendly.
Another one is, are you enjoying your new job?
And if nothing changed,
You can say, I am still at the same company, but I have a different.
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Role now. A role means the job or position someone has.
quick check, David. A role can mean someone's job or position, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what if someone knows that their old friend moved away?
They can ask about the new place. For example, how do you like living there? Or, are you getting used to your new city?
That would show interest in the friend's life.
Exactly. A useful sentence is, I heard you moved to Chicago. How do you like it?
That sounds natural.
Another useful phrase is, do you miss living here?
That could lead to a nice conversation about old memories.
Yes. You can also ask, what do you like most about your new city?
Quick check, David. Getting used to a place means becoming more comfortable there over time, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what about asking about family?
If you already know the person well, you may ask, how is your family? Or, how are your parents doing?
That sounds caring.
Yes. A useful question is, how is everyone at home?
That is simple.
Another one is, do you still visit your family often?
What if the friend has children now?
You might say, I heard you have a little boy now. How is he doing?
Quick check, David. With an old friend, asking about family can be natural if you already know something about their family, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, can old friends talk about how much someone has changed?
Of course, but it is good to keep the comment positive. You can say, you look great, or you have not changed much at all.
What about personality?
You might say, you are still as funny as I remember.
That is sweet.
Another useful phrase is, you seem really happy, seem means appear, or look like something is true.
Quick check, David. Seem means appear or look like something is true, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, old friends often talk about memories too.
Definitely. A memory is something you remember from the past. Meeting an old friend can bring back many memories.
Can you give us a useful sentence?
Of course. Do you remember when we used to study together after school?
That would immediately start a story.
Yes. Another useful phrase is, that brings back so many memories. Brings back memories means makes you remember things from the past.
I like that one.
Another sentence is, I almost forgot about that.
Quick check, David. A memory is something we remember from the past, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what does used to mean in a conversation like this?
Used to helps us talk about something we did regularly in the past, but do not do now. For example, we used to play basketball every Friday.
That is perfect for old friends.
Exactly. A useful sentence is, we used to spend every summer together.
That sounds nostalgic.
Nostalgic means having warm or sometimes slightly sad feelings about the past.
That is a beautiful word.
Another useful phrase is, those were good times.
Quick check, David. Nostalgic means having warm feelings about the past, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, can people laugh about embarrassing memories too?
Absolutely. Old friends often remember funny mistakes or silly moments. Embarrassing means making you feel a little uncomfortable because of something you did.
I think those stories become funnier after many years.
They often do. A useful sentence is, I cannot believe we actually did that.
That sounds very natural.
Another one is, I was so embarrassed at the time, but now it makes me laugh.
And another useful phrase?
I had completely forgotten about that story.
Quick check, David. Embarrassing means something that makes you feel uncomfortable about what happened, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what if the two friends lost contact?
Lose contact means stop communicating with someone for a period of time. It can happen because people move, change jobs, or simply become busy.
What can someone say about that?
A useful sentence is, I am sorry we lost contact.
That sounds honest.
Another one is, life got busy and we stopped talking for a while.
That probably happens to many people.
Yes. Another useful phrase is, I always wondered how you were doing. Wondered means thought about something because you wanted to know.
Quick check, David. Lose contact means stop communicating for some time, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what if one friend says sorry for not staying in touch?
The other person can respond kindly. They might say, do not worry, life gets busy, or it is okay. I am just happy to see you now.
I like the second one.
Me too. A useful phrase is, no need to apologize. Apologize means say sorry for something.
That feels warm and friendly.
Another one is, we can always stay in touch from now on.
Quick check, David. Apologize means say sorry, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what does catch up mean?
Catch up means talk with someone you have not seen for a while and share news about your lives.
That is probably the key phrase for this whole topic.
I agree. A useful sentence is, we should sit down and catch up sometime.
Very natural.
Another one is, we spent an hour catching up over coffee.
That sounds like a perfect meeting with an old friend.
Yes. Another useful phrase is, we have so much to catch up on.
Quick check, David. Catch up means share news after not seeing someone for a while, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, how can we ask more questions without making the conversation feel like an interview?
We can react to what the friend says and then ask a follow-up question. A follow-up question is a question connected to the answer we just heard.
Can you show us?
Sure. Your friend says, I moved to Seattle last year. You can respond, really? How are you liking it there?
That feels very natural.
Exactly. If they say, I started a new job, you can ask, that is great. What kind of work are you doing now?
So we listen first, then ask.
Yes. Another useful phrase is, tell me more about that.
Quick check, David. A follow-up question is connected to something.
the perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
The person just said, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, sometimes people compare their lives now with the past. How can they do that?
They can say, life is very different now, or things have changed a lot since school.
Can we compare the person to?
Yes, you could say, you seem much more confident now. Confident means feeling sure about yourself and your abilities.
That is a nice compliment.
Another useful sentence is, I was much quieter when we were younger.
That sounds realistic.
Another useful phrase is, we have both changed a lot.
Quick check, David. Confident means feeling sure about yourself, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, what if the meeting happened by accident?
We can say we ran into someone. Run into someone means meet someone unexpectedly.
That is a very useful phrase.
Yes, a useful sentence is, I ran into an old friend at the grocery store yesterday.
That sounds very natural.
Another one is, we had not planned to meet. It happened completely by chance. By chance means without planning it.
Quick check, David. Run into someone means meet them unexpectedly, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, how can we end the conversation if we need to leave?
We can show that we enjoyed the meeting and then suggest staying in touch. A useful sentence is, it was really great seeing you again.
That is perfect.
Another one is, I have to go, but I am really glad we ran into each other.
That sounds friendly.
Another useful phrase is, let's not wait another 5 years before we meet again.
That one is fun.
Yes, you can also say, let's exchange numbers so we can stay in touch. Exchange means give something to each other.
Quick check, David. Exchange numbers means give each other your phone numbers, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, how can old friends make plans to meet again?
They can choose something simple like coffee, lunch, or dinner. They can say, are you free next weekend? Or, we should get coffee sometime.
What if they do not know their schedule yet?
They can say, let me check my schedule and message you.
That is very practical.
A useful phrase is, let's definitely plan something soon.
And another?
I would love to continue catching up.
Quick check, David. A schedule is a plan showing when activities happen, right?
Yes, exactly. That is correct.
David, can we do a practice conversation where two old friends meet unexpectedly?
Absolutely. Let's do one.
Okay.
Emma, is that really you?
David, wow, I cannot believe it. Long time no see.
It has been years. How have you been?
I have been good. I moved back to New York last year.
Really? I had no idea. What have you been up to?
Mostly work. I also started taking a cooking class.
That sounds fun. We have so much to catch up on.
We really do.
That is a very natural conversation.
Yes, and it starts with surprise, then moves into life updates.
Let's do another one about old memories.
Okay.
Do you remember our old coffee shop near school?
Of course. We used to go there every Friday.
I walked past it last month. It is still there.
Really? That brings back so many memories.
Do you remember when you spilled coffee all over your homework?
Yes, unfortunately. I was so embarrassed.
We laughed about it for weeks.
Those were good times.
Excellent, simple, friendly, and very natural.
David, what are the most important things to remember from today?
First, greet your old friend warmly. Second, ask how they have been and what they have been up to. Third, share important life updates and ask follow-up questions. Fourth, enjoy old memories and make a plan to stay in touch.
That is such a clear plan.
Yes, English for this topic does not need to be difficult. You only need friendly greetings, simple questions, a few phrases about the past, and natural ways to talk about your life now.
That is really helpful.
Yes. A good conversation with an old friend is mostly about listening, sharing, remembering, and reconnecting. Reconnecting means becoming connected with someone again after some time apart.
David, let's do a quick review quiz before the big summary.
Good idea. What does in ages mean?
In ages means for a very long time.
Correct. What does catch up mean?
Catch up means share news with someone you have not seen for a while.
Excellent. What does run into someone mean?
It means meet someone unexpectedly.
Perfect. What does lose contact mean?
Lose contact means stop communicating with someone for some time.
Exactly. That was a very, very long and detailed conversation about meeting an old friend. Now let's have a quick review of today's lesson.
Today, we talked about simple and useful English for meeting an old friend. We learned friendly greetings like, "Long time no see." It has been such a long time. It is great to see you again, and I have not seen you in ages.
We also practiced important questions like, how have you been? What have you been up to? How is work going? And how is your family? These questions help us learn what has changed since we last saw someone.
We talked about old memories, too. We practiced phrases like, "Do you remember when?" That brings back so many memories. We used to do that all the time, and those were good times. Old friends can laugh about funny stories and remember special moments together.
We also learned useful expressions like catch up, lose contact, stay in touch, run into someone, and by chance. At the end of the conversation, we can say, "It was really great seeing you again," or "Let's definitely plan something soon."
The big idea is this. Meeting an old friend is a chance to reconnect. You can ask about their life, share your own news, remember the past, and make plans for the future. Simple English is enough to have a warm and natural conversation.
Your final homework for this lesson, comment 1 to 2 sentences about an old friend or what you would say if you met an old friend today. Here are 2 simple example answers.
Example 1. I would say, "Long time no see. How have you been? We should get coffee and catch up soon." Example 2. I met an old school friend last year, and we talked about our old memories and what we are doing now.
Thank you everyone for watching and listening all the way to the end.
If you enjoy our podcast and would like to support us, you can find the donation link in the description.
Every bit of support helps us keep creating free English lessons.
Keep practicing, and we'll see you later in the next episode.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like
Touchdown!
because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. And it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.
Episode.